Hi, hello, welcome. Are you in a shitty mood? Because me too. Just woke up this way. You know, when weird dreams just put you in a weird place. You know, it's like when you feel sad, and then you just feel angry that you're sad, and you feel fed up. Um, that's where I'm at right now. And so I was like, what better way than to channel this energy into a longer tarot video? So yeah, if you've seen the little clip it snippet on my Instagram, welcome to the full length. Let's get into it. So, I pulled the octopus for your current energy, and the octopus instantly makes me just think of chaos. Your mind and being is just all over the place right now. You're in this watery mass where you can't really see what's going on, but you can feel these things. You just don't know where these feelings are really stemming from. Um, yeah, why they exist. But then I pulled the Swan card as a card that can alter this current energy. And the Swan, to me, in this context, is really just about balancing everything out, about making the chaotic 8 tentacles into two balanced sides that you can comprehend, that you can be aware of. Um, so you can just sit in tranquility, in a inner form of peace, a little bit better. And also, to me, the swan gives very much like boss bitch kind of selfish energy, but in a way that is very empowering rather than like feeding your ego. And I think with the octopus is you're giving yourself and different aspects of yourself to too many people right now, to too many energies. Your thoughts and your emotions are focused on other people's energies, whether you're actually in contact with these people or not. But then the swan is very solo, very like minding its own business and not really intruding on other people's business. If like people come by, will kind of fucking honk at them and be like, this is my boundary and you've just crossed my boundary. Um, and I think swans and geese as well can be seen as like kind of like assholes because it's like, I'm just walking past, dude. Like, don't need to hiss at me. But honestly, for those birds, it comes from a place of security. They're just defending what they deem as their space and their boundaries. And I think I would encourage you to put in place your own boundaries. And most importantly, I think the boundary that goes like unnoticed the most, but is actually the most important, is boundaries to your own self, because you have the ability to harm yourself unintentionally without even knowing that you're doing that. And I think you need to set specifically some mental boundaries, um, because I think you're allowing yourself to obsess and think over things over and over when it is not benefiting you at all. It's just making you get into a more chaotic, crazy loop of these weird energetics, and that's causing you to feel in such a weird mood where it's super ungrounding. These are both water energies. Like you're in your feels and you don't really see a way out of them. You don't really have the means to ground yourself. But one way that you can do that is by like setting a mental boundary, um, and not only. Sorry, I get so paranoid that people can hear me speaking. Um, yeah, you need to start putting yourself first, because by putting so much concern into other people in your life, whether they're like people that you care about, your loved ones, just people that you're forced to be around all the time, by thinking too much about their lives and how about they're thinking about things is not allowing you to have the space to think about your own issues, your own present things that are going on, even your own like physical body in the present moment is being extremely neglected because you're just so up here and you're so like you're not fully in the heart energy. And I think that's part of the problem, if you will. Now, I feel the need to get some tarot. I'm gonna use... Actually, no, we're not gonna do tarot. It's an oracle kind of day. So we're gonna just be using Earth Wisdom. I honestly, half the time when I started reading, don't know any idea what deck I'm gonna be using, and I just drawn towards them. So I felt drawn towards this little deck, this cute little deck. So yeah, like what else is going on with these energies? How can we take control of them, if you will, better understand them? Just fucking take a breath with me, because I don't think any of us do it enough. Okay. So we have number 13, awareness. Yes, absolutely. You're coming into the awareness of your shadow side, of attributes of yourself that don't serve you anymore, that make you feel the way that you're feeling. Yeah, awareness is really going to help you like distance yourself from your own emotions and what you're currently feeling, these endless energies. Like you can leave these energies by becoming more aware of them and being able to remove yourself from them into like a safer internal place. And you could do this even by physically going somewhere, going for a walk, changing your environment, cleansing your space that you're in with like smoke cleanse or whatever, doing some kind of ritual like that, journaling, writing shit down, or just like even reflecting and just taking a moment of silence for yourself would be very beneficial to you right now. What else do we got? If anyone could tell me like what y'all use to, like, I run out of space on my phone and shit, and I'm like, how do people do like 3-hour readings if they don't have like a DSL camera? I'm just in the dark, dude. So if you have answers, let me know. Okay. We have clear aura in the number 7. So yeah, I think you are overdue a cleanse, an internal cleanse, a physical cleanse. Really what I've discovered is, this is as an example, is your room, for instance, can never feel fully renewed and clean if you don't both do a physical cleanup or organization, as well as an energetic cleanse with smoke cleansing, setting intentions, etc. Or also just get stuck in the same cycle over and over, which I think a lot of us, deal with and find themselves stuck in, and it's like really frustrating. Also, I'm just getting like, because you may be feeling, I don't know if you're feeling like I'm doing, but I'm feeling really heated. I'm feeling very like I'm over things. I'm frustrated. Using that fire energy and channeling it into something like tarot, like I'm doing, or like vigorously cleaning, going for a walk, a run, or like doing things that you've been meaning to do that you didn't really want to do. Like for instance, I sent a bunch of emails and messages that I was like kind of putting off because I didn't really want to do them, and I did them this morning. And I think that's partially because of the energy that I was in. Sometimes energies can play out in a way that feels really negative, but the reason that they feel really heavy and negative is because they're not being channeled and used in a way that they are designed to be used. So if you listen to that energy and do the things that work best with that energy flow, then you're not gonna feel so down in the dumps, so like off-putted, like put off by your own energies, because you're putting them into a space that works well with it, if that makes sense. And now we're gonna get some tarot. I just needed to get those. I never really use this tarot deck because it's actually my least favorite one. We were gonna use it today because I haven't used it in a while, but it's the Light Seers Tarot. Pretty popular. So yeah, what else is there to know about this energetic situation? Okay, they've fallen on the ground. So we have the Ten of Cups reversed, as well as the Four of Wands. Okay. I'm really seeing that you have dreamed up this Ten of Cups fantasy for yourself. You know it's possible. But you just haven't achieved yet, and you're not seeing results from it, and that is what is causing this frustration and this like harsh energy. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's like black cross hatching around, which feels almost like an evil force is like erasing this in a way. It's like starting to, like, doubts are starting to form. But then with the Four of Wands, it's like very, very celebratory. Both of these cards are very community-centered, family-centered, celebration, happiness. The Four of Wands is really to do with stability, and I think you do have a certain form of stability since it is upright. But you don't feel like familial stability or like community stability. It feels like you do not have that yet. But it's weird to you because it's like you have this other form of stability, like just like physical stability, like you have routine set in place, you have a place to sleep, etc. But you don't have people to fill that time with, or like to fill that space with. And it's just very like conflicting to you because perhaps you're used to having open spaces for them to be filled, but because they're not being filled, it just feels really weird to you. Let's get some more cards. Ooh. Yeah, there's just like a disappointment of what you thought the future were to hold, and I think the Ten of Cups is still possible. I'm an optimist. I think if any card comes up, whether it's reversed or not, is that energy is still possible to manifest. It's still there. It's just something is blocking. So yeah, what's blocking the Ten of Cups from happening? We have Temperance reversed. Yeah, I think you really need to focus on getting things back into balance, because this is what it looks like, by the way. It's a really cool depiction. things are just so out of wackadoo balance, and you may not even realize that, but this energy is coming in to make you realize that things are not as balanced and stable as you thought they were. That you need to work out an internal balance before you start balancing physical things in your life, like balancing like the work, play, work life, you know, that shit, your social life, etc. Because if you're not internally balanced, then that is just going to manifest itself into those aspects of your life and just like fuck with them. And I think you're kind of seeing that happen, and you're like, what's going on? What possibly could be going on? And what's going on is that you just haven't internally healed certain things that need to be like looking after, taken care of, acknowledged. Acknowledgement is so big with this reading, just being aware of what you're feeling, because I feel like you've been kind of putting off what you've been feeling internally, and now it's just coming all up at once, and it's confusing because it's so much energy all at once when it's actually just separate emotions coming in, flowing in at the same time. This moon literally looked like a bowling ball to me, so like, with bowling, before you take that ball, you see people, like professionals, like they breathe in and they breathe out and they fucking go and they trust because they've done this so many times. You don't want to just like randomly be throwing balls only to see them just like go into the side and like it's done. You don't even get to attempt to hit the pins. You have to accept the facts. Okay, I might not hit all the pins, but I'm gonna hit some of the pins, and I know that I am because I trust myself. I think there needs to be more trust within your own relationship with yourself, and trust that you can fulfill certain things that you need. You don't have to depend on others or like certain activities to fulfill that. So I'm gonna just get one more card as a advice from your spiritual guides or whomever, but just advice from the higher beings. What advice do you have for the people? Okay. Love that. So we have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Eight of Swords reversed. I think, yeah, this is Spirit reminding us that we have many options to pick through and choose, and we don't have to overthink those options necessarily, because all these options aren't necessarily like good or bad. They really are just like a blend. It's very much just like a gray mass of it is what it is. And also like just nitpicking and speculating about these separate aspects of our life. Overdoing that is like not necessarily the most healthy, and it keeps you in this Eight of Swords energy where you essentially trapped yourself and blindfolded yourself, so like unintentionally without even realizing it, and then you can't even see what is truly objective and what is actually there because you're so concentrated on looking at these specifically emotional aspects of your life and evaluating them when they don't really need to be evaluated at all. A lot of air energy within this reading, mixed with like water energy, and I think it's like Spirit's kind of saying is like I don't think you quite understand how to work with water energy because it's just about letting it fucking flow. You don't like trap the water into like a barrier, like what the fuck is that called, a dam, and expect it to not one day overflow. Like you can't block up your emotions separately in separate spots. They are meant to flow together in one and not make much sense. And yeah, even this woman, I think it's a mirror, but it kind of looks like a bath to me. And she feels trapped within her own emotions, but it's partially because she's bringing too much air energy into the water. Like those things don't really mix. When they mix, then it maybe becomes ice, and ice, that is really hard to work with, and it will break one day, and then that's harder to heal, if that metaphor makes any sense. But yeah, just stop separating different emotional aspects or just aspects of your life into these separate options or parts, and allow them to be as one. Allow them to just exist as they exist. Let your heart lead you rather than your mind, because I think you've been relying on that a lot, too much lately. And your heart will allow the choices to come a lot easier, where it's like you don't really know what's behind these cups, but you know that whatever is there is like meant to find you, is meant for you in that moment. And I think as long as you focus on the fact that I'm meant to be doing this, I don't know what it holds, but I feel called to pick that option or focus on that aspect of my life, don't overthink it. That is so much easier said than done, but don't overthink it, and try to be more present. Try some breath work. Put time aside for yourself, to meditate or just be in a calm space, to listen to music, to just do something a little bit mindless so you can allow your brain to kind of do the work for you of processing, allowing yourself to process. And I think that this energy will eventually leave you, and you'll be left with a nice, more neutral slate again, where you can, I was going to say pick and choose, but so you can allow whatever emotion you want, or whatever emotion there is available, to come into you. And it will probably be a little bit more of a positive experience. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. It is 22 minutes, which I really love. But yeah, see you next time. Thank you so much for being here.